Welcome to Kids Mind, where we learn, we laugh, and explore. I am your teacher, Patricia, and today I'll be taking you through Bible story. Also, don't forget to follow us at GPS TV Africa. Also, you can SMS us on our SMS line 21144. So, are you ready? Kids, let's check. Do we have our Bible ready? Yes, that is very great. Did you prepare a pen and a book? Wow, that is very great. So today, our story is going to be about the prodigal son or the second son. Today, we are going to look at the Bible at Luke chapter 15 from verse 11 to 24. Then, I'll read. Then he said, a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of good that falleth to me. So he divided to them his livelihood. And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and journeyed to a far country. There wasted his possession with prodigal living. But when he had spent all, there arose a severe famine in that land, and he began to be in want. Then he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into his field to feed swines. And he would gladly have fed his stomach with pods that the swines ate, and no one gave him anything. But when he came to himself, he said, How many of my father's hired servants have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger? I will arise and go to my father, and I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you, and I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was still a great far off, his father saw him and had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight, and am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servant, Bring out the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and sandals on his feet, and bring the fatted calf here and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. Verse 24. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to be merry. So I've read Luke chapter 15 from verse 11 to 24. So we can see here the story about the prodigal son. Do you know, have you ever heard about this story before? Who has heard this story before? Show me by the raise of hands. Yes, so many people, they have heard about this story. And here it is talking about the second son. So we can see the second son, he felt, I don't think my father understands me. I don't think I want to stay at home anymore. So he asked his father to do what? What did he ask his father to do? Yes, he said, verse 12, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me portion of good that falleth to me. So he divided to them his livelihood. Yes, when you look at the Bible, we can see the heart of the second son. He felt, Father, give me the livelihood that falleth unto me. So the father, because the second son did not know the heart of the father, right? He felt, my father is trying to tell me to do this. Maybe sometimes your parents, they tell you, you need to revise, right? Is that so? How many of you, when your parents, they tell you, you need to revise, sometimes you want to play or maybe watch a movie, right? Yes, sometimes we don't know the heart of our parents, right? And sometimes when they direct us, like this, the second son, we are sometimes don't understand and we want to do something else. So even this second son, when his father, he was living with his father was taking care of him, his father was directing him, but he did not understand the heart of the father. So one day he said, Father, give me the portion that falleth unto me. When he got his portion, what did he do? He went to a far country, because in his heart he thought, I can live my life well. When I have my portion, when I have my inheritance, then I will go to a far country. Maybe I will go for a vacation. And first I'll go for a vacation, and then maybe I'll open a business, right? So when he got his inheritance, he had so many plans and so many thoughts, right? Sometimes even us, we have so many thoughts and so many plans, right? Like on my birthday, I'll do this, I'll do that. But sometimes our parents also, they have a plan for our birthday. Is that so? Yes, sometimes we want our birthday to be, maybe we want to go sliding, and we want to go to ozone, and we want to do so many activities and invite all our friends, right? But sometimes maybe our parents, they want us to have our birthday in school because we will be at school, or they just want us to have the birthday with the family, or they tell us, not now, next time we will go where? We will go to ozone, right? And sometimes our heart is difficult. Why can't I go to ozone this time? Why can't I go to water slide this time? We don't understand the heart of our parents. The same way to the second son. He did not understand the heart of the father. That's why he said, Father, give me my inheritance. Then he went to a far country. What mind did he have when he was going to a far country? Anyone who can tell us? Oh, yes. That's right. He had the mind and the heart. I can live my life very well. I can manage my life. And when I go to a far country, I'll come back and my father will see, surely I'm able to manage my life. My father will be perhaps proud of me, right? But when what happened when he went to a far country? Let's see. When he went to a far country, what happens? Let's see verse 14. But when he had spent all, there arose a severe famine in that land, and he began to be in what? He began to be in want, right? He went to a far country, but because he did not know how to manage his inheritance, he began to be in want. And then when he began to be in want, also in that far country, because there was no one, there was no family to help him, there was a famine, and then he went and joined himself where? To a citizen of that country, right? He tried to look for a job here, he could not get a job. He tried to look for a job on this end, he could not get a job. Then what did he do? He went and joined himself to a citizen of that country. And the only job he could get was what? He got a job to feed swine, to feed swine in the fields, right? We can see in verse 15. When he began to be in want and there was a very great famine. Everyone, do you know what is a famine? Yes, famine, let me explain briefly. A famine is when the country, there has not been rain for a long time, then the crops are not growing. And then when the crops are not growing, then the food is not enough. So when the food is not enough, that's when we have famine. Famine comes because of lack of food. So because he could not get any food, he started also to feed the swines food, because there was great famine. Even though he was working, nobody could give him anything. And we can see when he began to be in want, that is when he came to himself. When I was in my father's house, when I was living with my father, I was eating well, I was sleeping well, and even we had a lot of servants who cared about me and were taking care of me. Even the same thing, when we are living with our parents, right? They take care of us, they buy us clothes. Do your parents buy you clothes? Yes, that is taking care of you, right? And continuously, even they are sending us to school, and they ask her, oh, how was school today, right? But this son, the second son, when he went to a far country, there was no one to take care of him. There was no one to ask him, how was your day? Have you eaten? Did you have lunch? Things like that. So he begins to think about his father. How many hired servants are in my father's house? And they have enough bread and to spare. They have enough bread and to spare, and I perish with hunger. So when he began to be in difficulties, when so many difficulties came to his life, he was able to think about his father. Let's see verse 16. And he would gladly have fed his stomach with the pawns that the swines ate, and no one gave him anything. Can you imagine? He was in a country that was full of famine, and nobody gave him anything. So you can imagine how miserable he was. You can imagine how difficult his life became after he left his father's house. But when we see verse 17, it is telling us, but when he came to himself, he said, how many of my father's hired servants have enough bread and to spare, and I perish with hunger? Then he began to think deeply, how can I solve this problem that I am eating swine's food? How can I eat as well? How can I live a better life than feeding swines? So he came to himself and realized, there is a way. Which way? In my father's house, I am able to live well, right? In my father's house, when I was with my father, I did not worry. I did not have these challenges. That's why he came to himself and realized, surely my father, even though I had a heart, my father doesn't understand me. My father doesn't know my heart. I want to live my life like this. I can manage my life. I want my inheritance. So he came to himself and realized, surely my father is the one who knows to manage my life. My father surely is the one who is thinking about me, and my father is the one who is thinking about me and who loves me. So when he thought about these things, he thought, I will arise. When he thought about the heart of the father, right? Everyone, when you think about the heart of your parents, do they love you? Of course, they love you so much, right? And they take care of you. They show their love through taking care of you. So when he thought about his father, right, he was able to think, surely I am in this difficult because I don't have the heart of my father. I did not know the heart of my father. So what did he do? He said to himself, I will arise and go to my father. Verse 18, and I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. So this second son, he was able to realize himself, and through this situation he was able to see what? The heart of the father. Surely in my father's house, not only me, but he is also providing for who? For his servants. They have enough and to spare, but I perish with what? I perish with hunger. Can we look at verse 20? Let's look at verse 20. Verse 20, what did the father do? And he arose and came to his father. But when he was still a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. We can see, even though the second son had a different heart from the father was still waiting. Right? How do we know he was waiting? Because when he was coming, while he was very away, far off, the father was able to see the son. And then, when he saw him, what happened? Yes, the father had compassion on him. When he was still a great far off, the father ran, and he ran, and he ran. Right? He ran towards the second son. And what did he do? He fell on his neck. He hugged him and he kissed him. The father was so happy. The father was so thankful. The son had realized the father's heart. And the son had come back to himself. Surely my father loves me. Surely my father's heart is to give me good things, right? The father's heart was to give him what? To give him good things. Can we see? Yes, let's check at verse 21. And the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight, and am no longer worthy to be called your son. Yes, the son said, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no longer worthy to be called your son. But what did the father do? Let's look at the father's heart. But the father said to his servants, bring out the best robe, right? Bring out the best robe and put it on him. The father's heart was to give this son good things. That's why he's saying to his servants, hey, you, come, bring out the best robe, bring out the best ring, right? Bring out the ring and put on his finger. And also bring out sandals, right? Bring out the best shoes and put where? Put on his feet. And bring the fatted calf, right? The father first, he clothed him very well, right? He brought the best robe, he put a ring on his finger, he brought the sandals, and he told his servants, hey, quickly, go and bring that fatted calf, right? Go bring the fatted calf and let's what? And let's kill it and let's eat and be merry. Yes, let's kill it and let's have what? A big party, right? Why? Why? For this my son was lost, right? Verse 24. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to be what? They began to be merry. So through this we can see the heart of the father. The father is the one who wants to do what? He's the one who wants to give good things to who? To the second son. But the second son left because he did not realize the father's heart. Yes, my father is guiding me like this because he wants me what? To be happy, to be joyful. And my father is guiding me like this because what? He wants me to have good things. Yes, my father's heart is to make me have also a good life and also have what? A good future. For example, let me ask you. When your parents are telling you, you need to revise, you need to do your homework, why are they telling us these things? Let's think about it. Yes, when they are telling us these things, do they want you to get good grades? Yes, that's right. They tell you this so that you are able to get what? Good grades, right? What about when we make mistakes? Do they rebuke you? Hey, they tell us, why did you do this? I'm not happy you did this, right? Yes. Why? Because they also want us to have what? A good character, right? They want us to have what? Yes, a good character. Even you, when your friends are not nice to you, you are not happy, right? But if your friends have good character, they are always kind, they always share, you always play together nicely, are you happy? Sure, yes, all of us, we are happy, right? So, even the father, he had the same heart. I want to give my son the best things. I want to do good for who? For my son. That's why when he saw his son a great far off, he was able to realize, surely I'm so thankful my son is back. So, when the son was back, he said, bring the best robe. Bring a ring and put it on his finger. What else did he tell the servants to do? Yes? Sure, that's very right. He told them, bring the fatted calf and kill it and let's have what? Let's have a party. So, when they had a party, we can see this second son, when he realized himself, even we can see how he was able also to be happy when his heart was connected together with his Father. When his heart was joined together with his Father, then he could be joyful again and he could be happy again, right? Yes. So today I want to give you, I always give you what? Yes, a memory verse. Yes, I want to give you a memory verse. And what is going to be our memory verse for this week? Before I forget, let's look at John chapter 3, verse 16. John chapter 3, verse 16. Okay, we are going to read together. Can we all read together? Yes. Are you ready? Okay, go. John chapter 3, verse 16. What does it tell us? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have what? But have everlasting life. Yes, today, during this week, today I want to give you this John chapter 3, verse 16 as our memory verse, because we are doing Bible stories, so we have to continually have a memory verse. So this memory verse is also telling us the heart of God towards us. We have been able to check the heart of the Father towards who? The second son, or the prodigal son. And we were able to see, the Father's heart is to do what? Loudly, is to do what? Yes, the Father's heart is to give this Son good things, right? So in John chapter 3, verse 16, it's also telling us about the heart of God towards who? Towards us. The heart of God is which one? Yes, for God so loved the world. So who is the world? Anyone who knows who is the world? Yes? That's right. Yes, the world is us. The world is who? The world is us. Yes, for God so loved us that he gave who? He gave his only begotten Son. And his only begotten Son is who? Jesus. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, you have been reading your Bible. The only begotten Son is who? Is Jesus. Yes, because God so loved us so much, he did not want us to do what? He did not want us to perish in sin. That's why he gave his only begotten Son. In our last kids mind, in our last kid mind session, what did we learn? Yes, what did Jesus come and do? Jesus came, he went on the cross, right? And when he went on the cross, he shed his blood. Yes, and what did his blood do? His blood was to wash away what? All our sins, right? Yes. So John chapter 3, verse 16, it is telling us the heart of God towards us. Because God loved us so much, he gave what? He gave his only begotten Son. And then when he gave his only begotten Son, he went on the cross, he shed his blood, he washed away all our sin. And if we believe, it says, whoever believes, yes, if we believe in this, if we believe on the work of Jesus, if we believe, Jesus went on the cross and washed away all my sins, then I should not perish, but do what? Yes, have everlasting life. Yes, because God loves us so much and he wants us to go to heaven. How many of you wants to go to heaven? Wow, yes, even me, I want to go to heaven. Yes, yes, because I want to go to heaven, John 3:16 is telling me, for God so loved, my name is teacher who? Let's put our names in this verse. Can we all do that? Okay, let's do that all together. For God so loved Patricia that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should do what? Yes, should not perish, but have what? Have everlasting life. For God so loved Patricia that he gave his only begotten Son, that is Jesus. That if Patricia believes in Jesus, I should not what? I should not perish, but have what? Everlasting life. What's your name? Yes. Let's put the name of Ryan. Is your name Ryan or John? Just put your name in that verse. For God so loved Ryan, right? That he gave his only begotten son. That if Ryan believes in him, should do what? Should not perish, but have what? Everlasting life. I hope all of us, we can believe like this. I'm so happy that we were able to tune in and have our Bible story time. So I'm so happy. I hope you have taken the notes. Have you written our memory verse for the week? Let's all double check. Yes, John 3 verse 16. So this will be our memory verse, and we will continue with our Kids Mind next week. Don't forget to follow us at GBS TV Africa, or you can SMS us. You can even SMS our memory verse so that we are able to know you are reading the memory verse continually during the week. You can SMS us on 21144.